Hello and welcome to The Bottom Line on TVP World. This is where we unpack some of the main business and economic stories of the day. I'm Marie Cato. It was election weekend in Central and Eastern Europe where Poles and Romanians chose their respective heads of state. And both of these elections were important from an economic point of view. To find out more about this development, let's go to Jan Kennedy's feature report.
Poland and Romania, two of the largest economies in the EU's east, held presidential elections on Sunday, both reflecting a worrying political trend.
Poland and Romania are, in a sense, the mirror images of the same problem, and that's the problem that many of European countries has at that moment. The problem was of a rise in far-right anti-European, anti-liberal policies and the parties in both cases.
In Romania, however, pro-EU candidate Nicu Jordan clinched a surprisingly decisive victory over his far-right Eurosceptic opponent, which prompted a positive reaction from the markets. As a result, the Romanian leu surged 1.35% against the dollar as of Monday afternoon trading. Dan's victory, which provided Romania with some much-needed political stability, will be critical for the country's economy. Despite solid economic growth in recent years, the country faces a major challenge.
Romania is running big current account deficit, so it's a delicate situation. And in this delicate situation, if the power is taken or by the irresponsible political parties, then on the economic front it could lead to big problems.
Meanwhile, after the first round of Poland's presidential elections, the situation remains as clear as mud. Although the liberal pro-European frontrunner Rafał Trzaskowski came out victorious, his lead over the conservative candidate Karol Nawrocki was less than 2 percentage points, fueling market uncertainty. As a result, the WIG20 index, comprising the 20 largest companies on the Warsaw Stock Exchange, dropped nearly 3% during morning trading, but erased some of those losses in the afternoon. In 2 weeks, Trzaskowski and Nawrocki will face off in the presidential runoff, which is seen as crucial for the ruling government.
If the candidate is in opposition of the ruling coalition wins the elections, it's a problem for the Polish economy, because without the support of the president, it may be difficult to run the policy.
Interestingly, the dollar-zloty exchange told a different story, with the American currency falling by more than 1%. But this change was more closely tied to investor concerns over the proposed Trump tax bill, which would add $4 trillion in debt over the next 10 years. Credit ratings agency Moody's recently downgraded the US from its top AAA tier to an AA1 rating, citing continued failures of successive US administrations to address ballooning deficits and rising interest costs.
And now moving on to the main focus of our story, Poland's Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz has just announced that Poland will create Europe's largest strike UAV fleet. And how so? By putting in an order for 10,000 battle drones with one of the country's largest defense contractors, the Polish WB Group. Our own Jan Kennedy has more.
Drones have become a critical element of modern warfare, and Ukraine has made extensive use of this technology in its battle against Russia. With the military threat growing amid the ongoing invasion beyond Poland's eastern border, the Polish army is taking notice and has even formed a special military branch dedicated to drone warfare.
This marks a complete revolution in how we perceive operations on the battlefield. Poland will not be left behind. In fact, we're one of the leaders in this area. Not every country has decided to stand up a dedicated unit or command structure like this.
To bolster the armed forces' drone capabilities, the government in Warsaw has signed a lucrative €250 million deal with Polish company WB Electronics, under which the firm will supply the army with 10,000 Warmate 3.0 unmanned aerial vehicles.
This is a key contract, particularly when it comes to equipping the Polish armed forces. Up to now, the military has been rather slow to draw lessons from what's happening in Ukraine. Agreements like this are essential because the more drones the army has, the better its situational awareness will be.
WB's high international esteem stems from its extensive battlefield experience, which has turned the Polish-made technology into an export hit, with sales to India, Georgia, Turkey, Ukraine and the United Arab Emirates.
Their drones have gained extensive operational experience in Ukraine. Practically all of WB's flying platforms have been deployed there. This includes the Fly-Eye reconnaissance drones and the Warmate strike UAVs. These are battle-proven systems. They've already been tested in real combat conditions, and we now have a clear picture of how they perform in the field.
Good times lie ahead for WB in the entire sector. Drone Industry Insights forecasts that the drone market will grow some 8% per year, reaching $57 billion by the end of the decade.
So it goes without saying that Poland is marking its territory, upping its game in European defence, and indeed the times we live in require it. Not to mention that modern warfare is certainly hard to imagine without drones. Today I am pleased to welcome Konrad Wojciechowski, Operations Coordinator at WB Electronics, to tell us about the big contract, about Poland's drone production and the role of drone operations playing in modern warfare. Hello and thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much for having me here.
So it looks like Poland could become a potential leader in European drone production.
I believe we already are. Where it comes to the military defense-oriented drones, WB Electronics and its companies within WB Group have been leaders in Europe where it comes to both reconnaissance and striking UAVs, drones, proven on the battlefield in Ukraine for many years now.
And clearly it looks like there is some developing expertise and some positive growth forecasts for drone production in Poland. Can you tell us when things really turned around?
So
when did that change happen?
We've released some of our first products as WB Group around 2010, 2015. We already had multiple platforms in Ukraine supporting the local military forces. In fact, we were the first foreign company to really be there with our drone products. And ever since the full-scale war started in 2022, so 3 years now, we've doubled, tripled or quadrupled every year our capabilities. And quite frankly, now we're capable of producing and delivering tens of thousands of drones each year.
And the forecasts in terms of growth look pretty good.
Absolutely. Drones, as they're commonly called, they really modernized, they revolutionized the warfare as it is in Ukraine. This war has shown that the typical aerial supremacy via jets and helicopters operated by crews, they just don't work. The anti-air defense are so strong on the Russian side that it's drones that are really competitive. They're safer for operators because operators are moved away from the front, but also they're significantly more cost-effective to alternatives such as guided ballistic missiles.
And WB Electronics has just signed a really significant contract with the Polish government. Can you give us some more details?
Absolutely. The Polish government, the armament agency, has signed a multi-year framework agreement that's going to set them up for purchasing our Warmate loitering munitions. It's a 10-year framework agreement, roughly 10,000 drones, roughly 1,000 per year in those 10 years. It really sets up a way for the Polish army to have the newest and the best version of our ever upgrading, ever improving Warmate system.
And we didn't see a deadline in terms of delivery online. Can you give us some more information in terms of like when you plan to deliver those drones? You say 1,000 every year?
Yeah, we're hoping to deliver the first 1,000 this year. The executive agreements, they're going to be negotiated in the coming weeks and months, so the details are not known as of yet. But where it comes to delivery of our drone systems, we've showcased more than once that we're able to deliver in weeks. Certainly not years, not months. We, for example, towards the end of last year, we've delivered a few hundred of these same platforms to the Korean army. The turnaround between signing the contract and delivery was within about a month, 5 weeks. Really, really quickly, we're able to get these things to the customer.
And in terms of Poland and WB Electronics, just in the broader sense, do you have the capacity to deliver larger quantities in terms of collaborating with foreign entities and also to pave the way for the European expertise, to really become that leader? And I say that also from a business perspective, because obviously that would also provide the opportunity for more jobs in Poland, developing the economy, just that sector in general, because we have ISI collaborating with Warmate recently.
Absolutely.
So what is your sense of how this is going to move forward?
We collaborate with companies all over Europe on many different fronts, many different products. We do have, where it comes to drones, a capability of transfer of technology, right? If a set government, set organization within a certain European country is willing to, and they can begin talking with us, and we can transfer our technology and enable them to build these drones, which are state-of-the-art, top of their class worldwide in other countries in Europe, and we're having those conversations right now. What's happening is the demand in Ukraine for our products, for our FlyEye, for our Warmate is so high. We're having many partnerships being created right now to expand our production capability even beyond what we're already doing.
Are you going to struggle to meet the demand?
The demand is very high, but we're ready. We have multi-year plans of expanding our production capabilities. We have partners in Poland, in Europe that are ready to help us also. So we're ready. We're ready for what the demand.
So this is a real opportunity for this industry, for this sector, for Poland.
It's an opportunity, but it's also a necessity. The war in Ukraine has shown that this is the way that the drones are the most effective. Any way you look at it, and the demand right now is huge, and the demand is spread over different kinds of drones, for small quadrocopters, almost garage-made, to huge, multi-billion-dollar platforms. However, what WB Group does, it's the most popular, small to medium-size fixed-wing UAVs that are either reconnaissance or loitering munitions, like strike UAVs.
And with the 10,000 drones that you will eventually provide to the government, is this actually enough? I mean, this is over, the space of a number of years by the sounds of it. But will this actually give Poland an actual advantage from a military perspective?
Yes, absolutely. But this is not the only program for the Polish military which has WB Group drones. For example, a flagship product of ours is Gladius. This is a unique, first of its kind, reconnaissance and strike system where from the same armored vehicle, Varan, on the same launch platform, you're able to launch a reconnaissance vehicle, FT5, and a strike BSPU, as they're called by the Polish army, strike drones, and this is a unique capability not seen anywhere in Europe, and we've already delivering it over the last 2 years to the Polish military, alongside other drone platforms, because you have to be ready for different kinds of threats. You have to have equipment that's ready to operate few kilometers away from the front line, 10, 30, 50 kilometers from the front line, which is this particular order, but also deep strike and deep reconnaissance hundreds of kilometers away. And across all these platforms, we're able to provide this.
And can you just walk us through in terms of how the WB Group is supporting and supplying Ukraine at the moment over the last 3 years?
We're in really close contact there on the ground with the Ukrainian army, with different forces within the Ukrainian army. We have WB Ukraine, an office in Kyiv with quite a number of people. That there's service there. There's production of our UAVs there locally. So we're in great contact ever since the beginning of the war. But really, moving back, our presence there is for over 10 years. It's across numerous
well before the war.
Way before the war. Since 2014, we've signed some of our first contracts, and 2015, we've already been delivering to Ukraine numerous platforms. Drones is what's making the news, but really there's
a lot more to it.
There's a lot more. There's communication systems, there is battlefield management systems. There's quite a bit more.
And just as we wrap up, just tell us very briefly, what is the future of the Polish drone industry?
The future is bright. We've developed some of the most unique, technologically advanced solutions. WB Group drones are software. They're special in their software. They're able to work in GPS jammed environment, GPS spoofed environments, in the most demanding of missions. They survive more than any other platform on the battlefield. And we should be proud as Polish people to have developed such technology here in Poland. We've developed it from scratch. We control here in Poland the design, the manufacturing of key components, the software, all made by Polish engineers, all made by Polish industry. And the world is noticing it. There's many export opportunities for these systems too. In fact, before this contract was signed, quite frankly, we've exported significantly more than delivered.
Do you think that advantage can be maintained because there's competition all around?
Yes, but the competition mostly in Europe started a few years ago when the popularity was there. In that time, we already had working systems there, and ever since then, we get daily feedback from the users, and we're able to upgrade these systems and exceed and meet any of the new requirements and new countermeasures, put forward by the Russian side. So
You're confident?
We're very confident. It's been a long way, and it's been a lot of people, and to get where we're here, it's quite an accomplishment already.
Okay. Konrad Wojciechowski, Operations Coordinator at WB Electronics. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
And that concludes The Bottom Line today. I was your host, Marie Cato. We're on every weekday at 5:10 CET on TVP World. And in the meantime, for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. And for more news and analysis, stay with us on TVP World. Goodbye.